All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra Tutorials channel. I'm your host, Larry, and today I'm going to show you how to install and use the fully fleshed out version of the mod that I used to check out the hidden developer layer inside of Subnautica 2 experimental build. This is the developer area enabler made by Vast Edition 7794. So once again, big shout out to Vast Edition for making this mod and sharing it with everybody. And it's also called the Dev Unlocker here in the background. And it's literally just one file. So if you go to this web page, go to Files, download this manually. I don't know how well it works using the Vortex installer, but I'm sure it's fine. It's literally just one file. So I'm going to put it here in my Subnautica 2 mods in an experimental folder, hit save, and then for the instructions, you just need to back up whatever stuff you want when you're moving to the experimental build. For mods, I just deleted all my mods. And then I'm going to place the DLL file that's inside of it, dwmappy.dll, into the folder Subnautica 2 /binaries Windows 64. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's open up where I just downloaded that file. Let's extract it using 7-zip. So I'm going to extract it to a folder of the same name. Then inside of here is literally just the one DLL file. Go ahead and copy that. And then we need to go find our Subnautica 2 files. The best way to do that, go into your Steam library where all your stuff is installed. Find Subnautica 2 in the left-hand sidebar, right-click it, go to Manage, then go to Browse Local Files. Inside of here, it'll take you right to where Steam has your game installed. And you can just go to Subnautica 2, then go to Binaries, Windows 64, and then just paste that DLL file right inside of here. I already did this earlier when testing this, so mine's already in here. You shouldn't be asked to replace the file in the destination, but, you know, if you do, just say yes, like I did. And then you're good. That's literally the entire install process. Now we just need to boot up the game. Even if you install this incorrectly, it shouldn't stop you from booting up the experimental version of the game, but it just won't work. So keep that in mind. So I'm just going to go ahead and pause and boot up Subnautica 2. Okay, so once you're inside the actual game, and I thoroughly recommend that you do this in creative mode if you just want to mess around with the in-progress build. Creative mode automatically puts you into invisible mode, so none of the NPCs will attack you. You're also in God mode, and everything's unlocked and all that stuff. Once you're in the game, you'll know that the mod is installed correctly because when you hit F2, it'll pop up this little menu here. This is the simplified mod menu if you don't want to mess around with the command console. You might also notice that when I hit the tilde key, well, normally when you try to hit the tilde key, because I was just messing around with this, normally when you try to hit the tilde key using this mod, it'll be locked off. So to re-enable the console commands, all you have to do is click this button here to re-enable the real console. And then you just hit the tilde key and it'll bring the console back up and you can type in commands that way if you're already familiar with doing that. Otherwise, to make sure that it doesn't capture your mouse so you can actually click on this menu, just open up your in-game menu so you can see like your inventory and stuff. And then you can go over here and you can do a couple useful things. Like you can change the time of day to like noon so you can see what's going on. I also like to freeze time so that you can prevent time from continuing and it doesn't keep going to nighttime when you're looking at cool stuff. And then you could do things like make sure that you're invisible to the AI, so the Collector Leviathan and the Shiver Leviathan doesn't constantly try to kill and eat you. If you're in God mode, they can't actually kill you, but they can keep running the animation and being really annoying, so it's easier to just make sure that you're invisible. You can also enable flying or no clip. No clip lets you pass through solid objects. Both of those settings, when you turn them on, only work properly when you're not currently inside of your tadpole. So the thing that a lot of people are here for is, the first thing is, let's turn the fog off so we can see everything going on in the environment. That allows you to see basically forever. And then the other setting a lot of folks are here for is to reveal the hidden developer layer. To do that, we just need to go inside of here and enable dev area number 9, number 10, and number 12. And then boom, we can see all of the things that are hidden in the environment so you can go and explore. Now, it's worth noting that not everything pops up immediately. There are quite a few elements in the game that only show up after you pass the restriction wall and you either swim up close enough or drive up close enough in order for like the text over the buildings to spawn so you can read what it says. There's also some notes hovering up in the middle of the water, and you'll find a lot of different notes kind of scattered all over the place from the developers to one another, explaining what their thoughts are by putting this object here, or putting this there, or making this like graphical effect here. And then you can read through all of those and experience it for yourself. Now, like I was saying, you can also spawn different things in using the console. Vast Edition was nice enough to put in a simplified command console here to make things easier. However, like I said, you can click on this button here, Real Console, and then that will make it so that you can just turn that off, and then you can just type things into the console normally like you would in other games that use this engine. Do note that if you want to spawn things, you need to get outside of your tadpole, then you can hit the spawn menu, and you can spawn different objects into the world. For example, I can type in spawn the Cyclops, because the Cyclops is in the game now. And you can go check out the Cyclops from Subnautica 1 inside of Subnautica 2. Just note that it's not really functional. It drives a little bit forward and back, but none of the rest of these buttons work. You can't close this door. Oh, there is a bioprinter here, a biobed, so you can set your spawn point if you can power it, but the rest of this is all just bare bones. It's just there for looks. It even has a little note, dear players, if you see this, please note we are not bringing back the Cyclops in Subnautica 2. It's just a reference, I'm guessing, for the Trident submarine, so that you can see the difference when messing around and developing it. So that's it. That's how you use this mod. It's pretty straightforward and simple. You can Google a lot of the different commands for the console inside of Subnautica 2. So you can do things like spawn things, teleport around, and all of that jazz. So go ahead and mess around with it to your heart's content. Enjoy the companionship of the Shiver Leviathan and either yourself or your friends. I've been your host, Larry. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, definitely check this mod out for yourself. It's very handy. It makes exploring this super easy. And we always appreciate it when folks like Vast Edition go out of their way to make these tools for us to use. Links are in the video description below. And bye, everybody.